we started off the process with saying, okay, let's just give people gile and filler. Anything else you want to wear to the bride, you can wear. And we actually thought it would be easier for people. And then everyone started contacting us like, just give us the ashray B. Like, we don't want to go to the market and be finding lace. Like, we don't want to be matching the colors. We don't care. Just give us the lace. I was like, let me just figure it out myself. I'll find the lace. I'll contact the people who want the lace. I'll take the orders. I'll ship it to them. My mom was like, Erin, don't do that. I was like, no, I got this. It'll be fine. That was honestly one of the top 3 most stressful things that I did.
Did you actually, you had one doing the shipping?
Yeah, no, not, well, I was speaking to couriers to take the lace
in Nigeria
Lagos to people's houses.
Oh,
and
wow.
in hindsight, that was a really silly decision.
Hi, everyone. I'm Mr. Effective, and welcome to Twirls and Tuxedo podcast. I have 2 amazing guests with me today. We have 2 newly-wedded couple. We have our beautiful former bride, Erin, and we have our handsome former groom, Sanmi. Before we start, we're going to do a little icebreaker. We're going to play a little game. It's 5 questions. It's a quiz between both of you, and first of 3 wins. Okay, are you ready?
I'm ready.
So, first question. Who does the last speech at a wedding reception?
Father of the groom.
The groom?
Oh, sorry, the groom.
The
Groom, yes. That's it. That's right. One for Sanmi.
It's all right. It's okay.
Okay, next question.
Keep this up for you. Okay.
Next question. In the Yoruba traditional wedding, what is the name of the alaga for the bride?
I have absolutely no idea. Like,
I can give you 2 options.
okay.
It's either alaga iduro or alaga ijoko.
Alaga Iduro.
Wrong. Then
Joko.
yeah, fantastic.
be.
1-1.
Yeah.
It must be, yeah.
Okay, now we're going to get a little bit harder now. What is the right title for a chief bridesmaid or maid of honor who's married?
The chief matron of honor.
Yes, that's it. So 2
I knew I was gonna get
to
that
Henry,
one.
1
Okay.
to Sanmi.
Okay, leave my hands
He's
up.
up
Okay.
his game.
Another one. Historically, why do we put the wedding ring on the left side on the index finger?
Shy.
I have no idea.
No idea.
Okay,
No.
so
knew there was like
apparently,
Yeah.
some people believe that there's a vein here that leads to the heart.
Oh,
that'd be
that's
the
so
one.
I saw some
sweet.
TikTok one day.
Yeah, I got a TikTok too.
I actually just thought it was social convention.
Okay, so 2 and 1, and then now final question: why do we carry, or what was the reason why we started carrying bouquets? The bride carries bouquet on our wedding day.
Because it looks pretty.
No, so apparently.
Fertility. Something.
Yes.
TikTok.
Yeah, so
Invest in TikTok.
yes. So the 2 reasons. So initially, it was because the word of evil spirits that affected the bride and groom, and then later on was then to do with fertility. So it was 2-2. So you both kind of.
So it's like
Well,
symbolic.
marriage.
It's symbolic, exactly. 2-2. So everything's even. Fantastic. So
Good job.
today we're discussing about destination weddings. So I read a stat recently. They interviewed or they surveyed 10,000 couples between 2019 and 2024. And they found out that 1 in 5 couples will do their wedding abroad in the UK. And for various reasons, I'll name a few. So first reason, UK is bad vibes. So it's a lot cheaper abroad. UK is bad vibes. The weather's a lot better. And nowadays people are looking for experience and that sort of stuff. You guys obviously had your wedding in Kenya and a fantastic wedding, I must say, a very complex wedding. We had a welcome party, traditional wedding, and a white wedding. So we're going to hopefully get some gems today to help people plan their own destination weddings. Okay? So the first question is, if you're going to split the ratio, who planned the wedding between both of you?
Let me answer. 95% was Erin. She's
Okay.
the planner extraordinaire.
Don't be
No.
95.
The thing is, I was there for moral support,
Okay.
you know, bounce ideas off it. But like, I think a lot of it was Erin, and then she went down to the granular details. In my mind, I was like, this is what a plan is meant to be doing. And when we got the plan and she started doing it, but then Erin was involved in every single process. So I definitely think it was like majority on.
But I wouldn't have been able to do it without him.
Oh, this is not sweet.
I wouldn't be able to do it without him.
Not just
So-
because
And
of
the
husband.
spreadsheets, crucially, which were the backbone of everything, and the spreadsheets were all him.
Okay,
So-
fair. So was that because you're more like the planner in the relationship, or because in my wedding now, for example, I planned the wedding not because I was like, oh, it's my big day, I want to do it.
Yeah.
No, because I'm more of the planner and I planned from a party perspective. I want people to have a good time. My wife did all the food, decoration, all that sort of stuff. So is that because you're the planner, or it's because it was your big day?
I think I am the planner a little bit. Yeah.
Guaranteed.
Yeah. I like planning, I think.
And how did you get more involved? Because one of the issues I find, especially couples planning weddings and the guy doesn't get involved, the woman can get frustrated a little bit. So how did you rope him in and to get involved in the wedding planning?
So I think you were quite invested from the start. I think he really wanted to help. But because I took off, he was then like, where should I help? What should I do? So I don't think I ever had to convince him to help. He was always there.
Okay.
So not to...
I mean, also there's moments where you just know we need to step back as well. So like, I'll come up with a few ideas.
And you're like, no.
And then out of 10, let's say only 2 get there. You know, the statistics are not working for you. So I took a step back and like, I feel, if anything, just whatever she decided, I was like, fully support it.
Fantastic.
And then in the times that he was too laid back, I would just like transmute all my stress to him. I'll just be like transmuting it on like a subliminal level. So
I guess it's that moral support again coming in. Fantastic.
I'll wake up and I see her sitting in bed like just staring at me. So I was like, all right, maybe today, I need to focus on the planning.
Fantastic. So let's talk about your wedding. Do you want to talk a bit about your wedding? Just a quick insight into your wedding, what you guys did, so everyone else can know.
Mm-hmm. Do you want to?
Oh yeah.
Talk about the location.
Yeah. I think when we first started the whole process, we think about where to do the wedding. And I think I've always wanted to do something in Africa as well.
Okay.
And my sister got married in South Africa. My other sister got married in Ghana. Nigeria, we love the country, but it's chaotic.
Too much.
And then I think, the next place was then Kenya. And we had gone there maybe the year beforehand. For one of our other friends, Damola and Nonso. He threw a surprise birthday party for her.
Okay.
And when we got there, it was just quite, you just loved it. And I think when we're now deciding where in Africa, that came up, obviously. And I think from there, it was just more like our souls just kind of really felt at home there as well. And we wanted other guests to experience it. So Erin found this great place in Diani, which is on the coast of Kenya.
Yep.
Maybe like an hour or so from the Mombasa airport. And it was at this resort called Swahili Beach Resort. They've been around for, 14, 15 years. Very beautiful venue. And then we did all of our events there, the welcome party, engagement, and obviously the wedding party as well. So we had roughly 270 guests or so from Nigeria.
I cannot
it was a large.
I think I was in denial for a long time about how many people.
So quick question: when you went to Kenya for your friend's birthday, was that in Nairobi or Mombasa? Where was that?
Yeah, so we did everything. So we started off in Nairobi. Mm-hmm. We did a few days in Nairobi, and then we flew to the coast. And when we got to the coast, we were like, this place is crazy. Why does no one talk about the coast of Kenya?
Yeah.
And I feel like it's a well-kept secret with Kenyans. I think they're gatekeeping their coast a little bit.
Like Wakanda.
And I get it.
It was so beautiful.
And now we're putting them on blast. But also people who know, they just know and they don't talk about it a lot. So I was like, okay, so this place is giving, Maldives. It's giving everything that you would expect. Yeah. And it's in Africa, it's our continent, and obviously he always wanted to get married in Africa, and it just kind of, everything just felt aligned.
Yeah. Okay, that's fantastic, because just bring back to my wedding, when we picked a location, it was more around accessibility for people, visas and all that sort of stuff. The issues in Nigeria. Because I remember when I did your wedding, I was the MC for your wedding. You guys don't know. So people ask me, "Are you guys Kenyan?" So
we got that all the time.
And I realized that I never actually asked you why you picked Kenya. Yeah. So that's absolutely fantastic to know that was something that you saw and you thought you can connect there. So tell me about the planning process, because your wedding was very, very complex in the sense that everyone stayed in one venue in the resort. So it was exclusively for your guests, which was absolutely fantastic. And then you did your welcome party in one location, traditional wedding in another location, and then the white wedding in another location. And for the traditional wedding, it was so authentic. It was absolutely authentic. I felt like I was in Lagos. There was the Nigerian food there, everything like that. Even the decoration, with the traditional where you have the gifts and everything. So tell me about that process. I know that was Erin's work.
Yeah.
So tell me about that process, how you did that.
Okay, where to start? So the idea, I think the concept that we came up with was 2 things. First of all, we wanted it to feel like a wedding, but also like a massive group holiday.
Yes.
And then the second thing is that we wanted it to really be a celebration of the village that raised us, which was part of what we had.
Oh, yes.
So those were the 2 anchor points, I think, for the planning. And then I think just practically we were like, if everyone is flying all the way to Kenya, then we don't want to also make them fly all the way to Lagos for a trad. Let's just do everything in the same place. And I think my parents were very gung-ho on they didn't want to do the Lagos trad because the wahala involved. Yeah, it's interesting. A lot of that came from my parents. And I think we had some...
Can I just say something?
Yeah.
Which camera am I looking at there? This is camera.
Yeah.
Parents, open up your mind. You don't have to do it in Nigeria all the time. You can go anywhere and do traditional wedding. Thank you.
But you know what? But it was so funny though, because when we first started the whole discussion, in my mind, I've always wanted engagement in Lagos. I've seen how my guys got married. You know, the guys are there. People that raised me as well when I was in Lagos, who won't be able to make it to Kenya or to any other place to do the wedding. I thought it would be a great place to do it. And then obviously, you know, your guys there, it's just like,
It's always a different energy.
vibe. So I know when the idea first came about, I was the one that was actually pushing for
to do it and do it in.
but then after, you know, they explained it, and then also like sometimes when you do engagements like abroad, it doesn't have that authentic feel. And I think that's what went into the planning, is like we need to find a way to bring like those wedding venues
to the extent that you guys had gilly tires flying to do gillies.
Yeah, we'll get into that. We have to, the traditional is the whole thing. It's a whole segment. We'll get into it. So we had a really strong image of what his traditional wedding would look like in Lagos. So I think I really wanted to make sure that we captured that so that you wouldn't feel like you were robbed of that experience. So my planner was amazing with helping with this, but we decided that I think the most important elements were the food, the decor, and then the music. And when I say music, it's like the Nigerian band, the Yoruba band, and having alagas.
Did you have a band there?
Yeah.
Yes. Because I remember
the talking drums.
Yes, because I remember from our room we could hear the all the praise and worship and everything going on. Yes, you did have a band. So it's so interesting. So this is a tip for destination weddings generally. Nigerians are everywhere. There's no way that you go that there aren't communities of Nigerians, right? Nigerians were everywhere, and there are plenty of us everywhere. So what we realized is that there was actually like there were alagas that lived in Kenya. Oh, really? Okay.
So we had one alaga come from Lagos, but we actually found the other alaga in Nairobi. And he had a whole band of people. It was a he. Yeah. That was another thing.
That was another thing.
You can tell I came late to the traditional wedding because I didn't realize it was a he alaga. Okay.
Oh, you might have missed that bit. So the male alaga was for Somi's family. So that was right at the beginning of the ceremony. And he had a whole band. So he had the guys that would play the Fuji music after, they would play the talking drums. And he just brought all his people from Nairobi to the coast. So I think having all those elements feel really authentic helped to make it like feel like Lagos. But I think the standout thing for me was like the decor. Like the decor of that trad like blew me away. And we spent so much time on it. Like the decorator, she was God sent. She was so patient. Patient. They're called Purple Tulips. They're actually based in Diani. They're local to Diani. And they were so patient. They were like, okay, we've actually never done a trad before. We've never done a
was their first time
doing their first Nigerian trad. They'd never done it before. So they were like, you're going to need to walk us through exactly how everything needs to look. So we sent them loads of pictures. They did renders, 3D renders, 2D renders, and absolutely every single detail we got into, right? And still, at the end of the day, when I saw the place, I was like, they killed it.
It was absolutely
it felt
stunning.
like, it felt and looked like, people were saying Harbour Point, like it genuinely looked like
yes.
And it
I
was like
me when I walked in as well, because obviously I only saw like a few of the renders by force. So let me just see what I'm doing now. Let me understand. And I remember when I first got there, I just saw like the top, not ribbons.
With the curtain. What do you call them? What's the official one?
What's the official one?
The cloth,
the drapes.
or whatever. The drapes. That's the right word. The drapes.
And it was just like seeing that environment and then seeing people sitting around. I saw people eating amala. Just
amala was flowing.
Having that experience, and I was like,
Egusi was flowing.
Honestly,
and the
Giz dodo was flowing.
The thing about that space is it was actually just a field. I don't know if you know.
Yeah, it was a field.
Helipad,
And they
just transformed it. Because a lot of us would walk past there to go to our rooms. Once we leave the reception area, and you didn't know that something was going to be there.
Because I remember when we had gone in November to go check out the venue, both sets of parents and like our planner as well, and the vendors came, so they were taking us around the resort. And I remember going to the field and I was just like, it's grass. What
are they going to do with this?
It's grass.
Someone was like,
I wasn't feeling it. I was like, how are we going to do this? And obviously it's hot. So I was like, how are we going to make? But then when we got there, honestly, it was like a whole new environment.
And how many times did you guys have to fly down?
Yeah, so that's a consideration for sure. Like I went with the planner, and we can talk about this, like the process of choosing the venue. But I went with our planner, Auntie Shay, who's incredible. And
shout out Auntie Shay.
Once upon a destination.
She's incredible. We went in January 24 to choose the location. That was just me and Auntie Shay. And then we went again with the whole family in November
And some of you joined that November trip. Okay.
Everyone came, both sets of parents, the planners, everyone came. And then we did like a full walkthrough in November. So we went twice to Kenya, which was a bit of we felt it because Kenya's not close.
Yeah, it's 8 hours from 8 hours from here.
8-hour flight.
Yeah,
It's not close. So that was a bit of an investment in terms of time and money to get there. But it was worth going to make sure everything was okay.
And to your point, like accessibility, I think even when I was doing the 8-hour trip, I think us experiencing it and then it kind of disappeared from your mind once you're there.
Yeah.
You see how beautiful the coast is, the venue, the people are extremely nice and everything. So obviously I know it was tough to get there financially for some people, taking time off of work. But in our minds, I think it was just more about once you get there, all your worries like literally disappear and you're gonna have like the time of your life.
Yeah, we're going to talk about the experience you guys created. But let's just stick on traditional wedding.
Oh yeah.
There was Asoebi as well.
Yes.
And I remember there was a bit of I won't say drama, but there was a bit of chaos around Asoebi because you initially said peacock blue.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you're like, everyone's asking what to wear, and then you now picked an Asoebi. And I remember I was on your neck to get my wife's Asoebi.
Oh my God.
So tell us how you organized.
There's so many learnings in that.
Organize that. And one more thing I'll say as well. You also had like a system where people could book either their filler, their gele, their ikpele. Was that your mom that did that? Yeah. So tell people how you did all that because obviously coordinating it from Nigeria to the UK to the US. Yes, I'm guessing the US as well because I know you have family in the US.
Yeah.
How did you do all of that? Because it was absolutely crazy.
Yeah, I think I've actually kind of blocked out those memories. That actually thing was stressful. So we started off the process with saying, okay, let's just give people gele. Like we have a really nice peacock blue color for gele and filler. So those two things you can buy. Anything else you want to wear to the trad, you can wear. And we actually thought it would be easier for people. Like we're not imposing what you have to wear. Yeah. So just order either a gele or filler, and you can also have the ikpele as well. But anything else is up to you. And then everyone started contacting us like, just give us the Asoebi. Like, we don't want to go to the market and be finding lace. Like, we don't want to we don't be matching the colors. We don't care. Just give us the lace. I was like, okay. So I guess I need to figure this out. So my mom really advised me against this. I was like, let me just figure it out myself. I'll find the lace. I'll contact the people who want the lace. I'll take the orders. I'll ship it to them. My mom was like, Erin, don't do that. I was like, no, I got this. It'll be fine. That was honestly one of the top 3 most stressful things that I did. Did you actually, you had one doing the shipping? Yeah, no, not, I was speaking to couriers to take the lace
in Nigeria
Lagos to people's houses.
Oh,
and
wow.
in hindsight, that was a really silly decision. Like, there are a lot of people who do these things, like Asoebi concierge.
Yes.
The Asoebi.
And they'll deliver.
They'll speak to your guests. You don't even need to touch anything. And if I could recommend one thing, it would be that. Don't get involved with your Asoebi. Outsource it, because having to deal with people individually, get their addresses, make sure the courier is actually getting there on time, but like,
a Nigerian courier service can be very annoying. Yeah. So,
Seriously.
But in the end, it looks so beautiful because I remember, obviously, I came late to the traditional, and just seeing everyone in especially the women in their Asoebi, looked absolutely, amazing and everything like that. So, the decoration, they also had all the gifts we have traditionally have in Nigeria. Was that also part of your concept as well? So, remember I spoke to the planner, she said that you got into that detail of actually designing. So do you have to design all of that too?
Yeah.
Or?
Do you mean the gifts that the groom side brings?
Yes, they set it up.
It's an interesting point you touched on there, because our mothers organized for like 3 months before. They did the traditional gift carrying in Lagos.
Okay.
So they actually physically carried the yams and everything to my parents' house. And they had like a whole setup. They like decorated my parents' house. They did the whole ceremony of everything. And they were like, okay, we've done this. I think there's a traditional word for it in Yoruba, which I've forgotten, but they did that. And then in Kenya, what we had set up was actually just boxes.
Yeah. Oh, right. Okay.
Because we were like, how are we going to start carrying yam?
Delivering yam from somewhere to somewhere.
How are we carrying yam from Lagos to Kenya?
We will stop at the borders when you come in, bringing in contrabands.
So everything you saw at the trad was just like
decor. Okay.
It was literally just mock-up for symbolism.
Yeah.
But they did all the traditional stuff in Lagos beforehand. And I think that's a great way of handling the whole destination thing.
Another thing I'm going to talk about, which is a little secret that you did. Your traditional wedding, you took a photo shoot before the traditional wedding.
Yes.
Talk about that. I've never seen that before. And again, another thing for the guests to know is that we had 3 events: welcome party, traditional wedding, and white wedding. The next day, the videos were out.
Yeah.
I've never seen. I was posting. People were like, "Do you know the couple like that?" I'm like, "Oh, my clients were feeling biased. That why are you posting that wedding? You don't post us like that." Because it was so beautiful.
Yeah.
The next, we experienced it one night before. By the morning time, the content's already out. So tell us about that concept of actually taking your pictures before the actual ceremony and the stress you went through.
Well, first of all, it was quite crazy for us to have the events back to back. Like I remember Somi was like quite.
I mean,
that maybe
I
we
was
should do that.
just like I was thinking more of having one rest day.
Yeah.
Obviously, people were flying in on, what was it, the 26th, and our first event was on the 27th.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, maybe on the 28th we relax, or we start the welcome party on the 26th.
I remember you told me one rest day, and I was trying to push for it because I wanted an extra day.
Yeah.
Because you guys are paying for me to come. So I just thought, let me get an extra day while I can.
In hindsight, do you think the rest day would have been helpful? What do you think?
It could have, but no one's going to be resting.
But then, but the thing is, like, even the back-to-back, we had everything later on in the afternoon.
In the afternoon, so you could rest in. You
That
could
was
rest in the
People
morning.
were still chilling by the
Rest in the
pool,
morning.
That's
doing
how we got
everything as
comfortable
well,
with it, right?
Yeah,
So we
yeah.
had welcome party on the first day, trad on the second day, white on the third day. And the way we ended up planning it is making sure that we had the events in the evening.
Evening,
so
yeah,
that
yeah.
people could just
And also the weather as well. It would be too hot to do anything in the
and that too
afternoon.
as well,
Diani, the coast is hot at that time of year.
Yeah.
Like we're talking like 30 degrees, but it feels like 40 degrees.
But you want it because in the UK it's February and it's cold.
Yeah,
So you're preparing everybody in the UK, so you need it.
Let's not complain too much.
But I think it worked out because, like, you know, like I was out and about. Like I was in the swimming pools with friends. I saw our aunties doing Zumba classes. People taking
There
walks
were
around
classes
the
in the
cliffs.
class every
that's
morning.
part of the
So it
experience.
works
We'll
out
talk about the
really
experience. We'll get to that. But talk about the photo shoot before.
photo
The photo shoot,
right.
That process.
So I remember like the amount of, I was really thinking through things in detail, like how things would play out. And it occurred to me that because we have the trad happening so close to the welcome party, so close to the white, and the timeline is quite condensed, how are we going to have time to do the photo shoots properly if we're having to change quickly? And like, I hate that chaos of like, you're trying to take pictures, but then somebody's like, it's time to go in. Yeah, they're waiting for you. Like,
I'm that guy that does that. It's like, I know what you mean.
I just didn't want that chaos. So I remember speaking to Auntie Shay, our planner, maybe like, it wasn't even long before the wedding, maybe like 6 weeks before the wedding. And I was like, I've heard that in Lagos that sometimes, apparently a lot of people do it actually in Lagos. You just don't realize.
I don't do a lot of weddings in Lagos. So
Apparently a lot of people do it. They dress up in all of their traditional looks before the events, take the photos, then rest a bit, and then go in for the events.
Yeah.
So what we did is, it was a lot, I wouldn't lie. So I did the full makeup for each outfit, wore the full outfit, shot the outfit, and then changed into the next outfit.
Oh, you did more than one outfit?
Yes.
I only saw one video. The green one. That's the one I saw.
We ran out of time for the second one.
Okay.
So in the morning, I had to wake up really early that morning, and they just got straight into it. They started doing the makeup for the green look. I wore the green look, and then the photographers and videographers who we brought from Nigeria, we should probably discuss that as well, because that was very worth it. They were ready to go because they do this all the time. Yeah. So they shot everything. We had like picked spots around the resort for the shoot. And so we just got straight into it. And our videographer, both of them actually, our videographer was MCE Films and the photographer was Kayode Bade. Hope I'm saying his name right.
Oh, we'll tag him in, don't worry.
Yeah, both of them are just incredible professionals, right? And they were shooting and producing the content really fast. So especially the videographer, he would shoot and then within an hour, he would have produced the video.
Yes, I remember
within
that.
an hour. So I was like, it's either you're using magic or AI or something. He was like, I'm not. He's like, I'm just like shortlisting the shots in my head as I'm taking them. He goes and sits in one corner. I don't know what substance he's using to fuel that, but he just goes for it and pulls it together in like minutes. So he was sending us the videos really quickly, and I was just like, I was incredibly impressed.
And I think absolutely that's the experience, because you've experienced it the night before or the day before, and then you then get to relive it again the next day, and everyone's still in that vibe. So would you recommend that couples take that approach of actually
doing it
before?
I think there are pros and cons. So the pros is that you get your shots. Like we got really good shots.
And it was also during the day as well.
During the day, so we weren't worried about the sunlight. And we were relaxed during the shoots. The cons are, one of the regrets I have is that I spent so long in hair and makeup and getting ready. Like that trad day, I sat in a chair doing hair and makeup for like 5 hours, and I'm not exaggerating. Like it was long. And whilst I was doing hair and makeup, all my friends were and his friends, and everybody was outside
Having a good
by the
time.
pool,
And me as well.
drinking, listening to
Where's
music.
moral
and I'm just
support?
there like,
I didn't do anything now.
why is being a woman like this? Like, I hate this.
I was like, I remember there was one point we were doing laps, like racing each
They
other
were
in the
having
pool.
the
Everyone was
best
asking, where's Erin? Where's Erin?
Everyone was at
ready.
the beach, and I was locked up doing hair and makeup. So that's the con. That's the only downside of it. Like, you do have to invest a lot of time in getting ready, but I think it's worth it if you really want the shots.
Yeah.
Yeah,
think it's
because
worth it.
overall it looked beautiful, and then you're not as stressed on the day, actually when the event is going on, because traditional weddings are very, very chaotic, and I always tell brides that you underestimate how much time you need to get ready. It takes forever. Changing gilets, changing outfits.
That needs to be underlined. Like, the amount of time it takes to get ready. Whatever you budget, you're taking an hour longer than that
Exactly,
to get ready.
because to get snatched,
It's a lot. Even to enter the course,
it's not easy.
That's like half an hour.
So even I think I was waiting for the second look. So this is where we're now coming in for our second entrance in the engagement. I was sitting in the room patiently for like, I took a nap, so it was just so long, and I was like, I'm ready to go. You know, I do think that's like a con. So it's like, I think it's just the waiting time, just like sitting down and waiting. Waiting.
Perfect. So we finished on traditional weddings. We had a lot of gems from there. You know, loads of vendors in Nairobi doing some stuff in Nigeria.
The food as well.
The food was that was a Nigerian catering in Nairobi. I think I heard the gist.
Yes. Let's not miss that. So, this is what I was saying earlier about Nigerians being everywhere, because my mom's sister found this caterer in Nairobi, and we ate her food when we went
Lagos
in
Nairobi.
December.
Or Lagos in Nairobi.
Lagos in Nairobi. And her food was like, so that's some of the best jollof I've ever eaten in my life. Like, it was so legit.
Yeah.
And we were just like, okay, so come and do the catering for everything. And they smashed it.
Yeah,
like,
no, they did.
The food was so good.
They did.
It was like, you know, sometimes when you eat abroad and it's like, eat Nigerian food abroad,
authentic.
and it's like, it was 100% authentic.
No, even the way they served us. Because I remember that there was a menu on the table. You know, typical Nigeria. What do you want? Pick. You're not picking. You're not gonna bring the wrong order for you. It was typical Nigeria. So it was kind of like, I'm at home. And you're fighting the wait. Where's my food? Where's my drink? It was absolutely perfect and everything. So traditional. Do you want to mention anything about the traditional wedding before we move on?
No, I think we're good.
Fantastic. So let's talk about the experience you created for your guests. And let's take it back a little bit. Most people landed in Nairobi because there isn't a direct flight from the UK to Mombasa or Diani, and there isn't one from Nigeria either. So everyone came in, I think, 2 days earlier, and there was a growing trend that did you really come to your wedding if you didn't go to the Giraffe Center?
Oh.
Everybody went to the Giraffe Center at some point. So was that all part of the plan, or, you know, and I remember there was a rooftop party. So how did you create the experience in general for your guests, including like the stuff like the aerobics, the infamous Wasini Island that people have a horror story on that. It's okay.
Were you on the boat as well?
Are you serious? We haven't even talked about this.
My wife and I went on a separate one. And we almost died. Like, I'm not joking.
Also, it wasn't the same one.
Not the same one. We almost, like, they took us in what I call a canoe, and the waves. You know.
This is not the adventure you want when you come to Kenya.
You know, this is, you know, when you see waves, I can't see above the waves. You know, when I'm scared, I don't talk. I was just there quiet. She was trying to take content. I was just thinking to myself, you know, and everything. So it was a crazy one. But talk about minus the Wasini Island. Shout out to Wasini. Talk about the experience you created for your guests. You know, obviously, because, you know, like you said, people are flying in from abroad. They want experience. So what did you guys? How did you guys do that for a destination wedding?
Yeah.
I mean, we picked Nairobi for a reason. I think, you know, it was more about once people, like, a lot of Nigerians have not been to East Africa as well. And I think, you know, people said they want to do something exotic. A lot of people done Europe, that's great, you know, but then it was like, okay, Kenya. So we knew people were going to come either a week before or a few days before, or like stay longer, for example. And I think, that was when we now say, you know, there's safaris to do, there are different things to do when you're in Nairobi. And then I think that was the whole idea, is like you're creating a holiday for yourself, and like the wedding is like a day or a few days part of it basically as well. So and like this for the rooftop party, that was my highlight, because I enjoyed like just seeing everybody in like the middle of Nairobi and in form, you know. This is before the wedding. So I think we just organized it for anybody that was in Nairobi at that time. Just come hang out with the couple. I had my siblings as well, who came in like that same weekend. My sister literally did like the full tour. She wore the Maasai outfits. Next thing you know, she was in a safari outfit.
Okay.
Next thing she went to the on the same tour as we as well. So I think it was just to organize something, make a holiday, and then the wedding is just part of the experience.
Yeah.
No, it's really good because... Sorry, go on.
Oh, no, you go.
It's really good because, you know, Erin mentioned something earlier that you make it like a group holiday.
Yeah,
I think
that's what I was about to say.
it's a 2 for 1. You're experiencing someone's love story, and then you're also getting a holiday.
Exactly.
Because I remember when Erin actually approached me to MC at your wedding, she sent me the results. I showed my wife. She was like, "We have to go. Like, there's no even. It's not what the money's about. We have to go to this because the result was absolutely stunning.
Yeah.
Absolutely stunning. It was just the right vibe, the right energy, and all that.
It's a great tactic. And then that came from your dad as well. Her dad was like her dad is like a marketing guy. So he's like, don't worry, just send people like the result. We'll find a way to make sure they come as well.
Yeah. In terms of the experience, I guess it was back to those two things that I said before. So we wanted it to really feel like you said, like
holiday.
Group holiday, and also a wedding, and then also like a celebration of the community. So we're like, if people are flying 8 hours all the way to Kenya, we really want them to take the opportunity to enjoy Kenya to its fullest. So we recommended that people go to Nairobi. Like you said, most people would naturally have to stop off there anyway. So go to Nairobi, go to the giraffe center, go do all the touristy stuff because it's actually that cool. In Nairobi. We're personally
the national park is just
it's in the city.
The national park is basically
16 minutes away.
You see all the animals, and it's in the city.
Which is very rare.
So we were like, people just need to experience this to the fullest if they're coming. So we recommended loads of places for people to go before the wedding, and then eventually people then got to the resort. And whilst people were at the resort, we wanted them to also just relax as well as come to the wedding events, which is why we had we thought about how to organize activities for people. So we had like Zumba classes, we had like step classes, water aerobics. People were doing beach walks in the morning. So we really wanted people to feel like, I'm here to relax. Like the wedding is almost just like, you know, my evening rocks. I'm here for a holiday.
No, definitely. I think I remember when we go to resorts, you get that vibe immediately. They give you a drink when you come in. Just get that vibe. You know, everyone's Hakuna Matata, all that kind of stuff, and you just get that vibe immediately. So that's what the experience. Fantastic. Let's talk about vendors because one of the worries of couples doing wedding abroad is because you want to keep your vendors authentic, and so you might need to fly people in. You might need to source locally. How did you guys mix and match local vendors sourced and versus internationally bring some vendors in? How did you navigate through all of that? Do you remember all your vendors and where you got them from?
Absolutely. Every vendor was extremely well considered. Like, we really thought through each vendor because one of my friends told me this before I even started wedding padding. Like, your vendors are so important to how you feel on the day. And that goes especially for the vendors that are working really close to you. Like your hair, your makeup, your videographer, your photographer.
Your MC.
Your MC. Let's not forget that. It makes a difference to how you feel. So if you have the wrong people there, it can actually spoil the whole thing for you. So it was really thought through for us. And I think when we started, we thought maybe we'd be able to find a majority of it in Kenya. And we did find a lot of really incredible people in Kenya. But there were some things that I just knew to really make it feel authentically Nigerian. We're just going to need to bite the bullet and get them to come from Nigeria. So we flew in photographer, videographer, makeup, hair, Alaga. Who else? I think that was it, really.
That's pretty much it.
DJs?
Oh, yeah. Our DJ, Aizan, came from Lagos.
You had 3 DJs?
Yeah, I was about to say, because Rarizal
and Badge. I had 3 DJs.
Music is my thing. So
we
had to have 3 of the best. I think it was expensive flying people in, but really worth it for them to create that authentic experience with us. And then in terms of partnering with people in Kenya, we always went through recommendations.
Okay. Recommendations from friends or from...
From friends and from people who we knew there. So like Auntie Shay has a few contacts in Kenya. Our planner has a few contacts in Kenya who recommended people to her. So we always went via recommendations.
What vendors did you pick in Kenya? So I know the decorator.
Decorator, yes. Yeah. Our decorator was Kenyan. Our caterer, even though she is
Nigerian, but
she lives in Kenya. The second Alaga was also living in Kenya.
And
and the band.
As well.
Then we had that's true. So we had local photographers and videographers to back up the guys from Nigeria, which actually is a good tip, cost-saving tip. So we flew in the main videographer and photographer from Nigeria, but then they arranged to work with assistants from Kenya. So we didn't have to fly their
The
assistants.
assistants, that's
So
good.
that saved us a lot of money. And the assistants were
They were really
good.
good as well.
They were really good. So they had a really good working relationship and it just worked out. Who else was local?
Drinks.
Drinks.
Obviously Swahili.
Drinks,
Our
okay.
drinks, because we brought in our drinks from Kenya, so they were all obviously local vendors. And then our production guy
Was a Nigerian guy but lived in Kenya. I remember him.
Interestingly, he was Nigerian
I think
again, and a family
your
friend.
dad's friend's son or something like that.
Family friend,
Yes, your dad
He's
mentioned
actually
that.
a well-known DJ in Kenya, but he does production as well.
Which was really good.
He brought his production team, and
they were
those
really
guys did the work. Like
really
the sound
good.
was incredible.
Yeah, so vendors are, like you said, they're very, very important. And I think also for other brides and groups, they need to learn to negotiate a little bit. So if, like, for example, you said that I want an assistant to come with you, but say, let's find somebody else in there. You know, for me, you gave me a good deal. You have to sweeten the deal.
I was like, please, just bring your wife.
Just bring your wife. She said the magic word, bring your wife and she'll have a good time. And then I was like, yeah, pay me whatever, I'll be there. So one tip for couples, try and negotiate and try and be personable. I think to you guys are absolutely amazing couple. And you're actually kind, so you want to do more for you guys. I want to pick on something you said around your vendors being so close to you, and you have to pick the right vendors. There was a moment in your white wedding when obviously the ceremony started late, and we couldn't do the sunset pictures. And why are you laughing? We could do sunset pictures, and Erin was and I've seen Erin smiles all the time. She was upset about it, and kudos to Sanmi because I saw you upset, and it was like you just said to me, I said that it was like everyone just give us some time, leave her alone, and then I think you went to your mom, or Sanmi's mom and your mom, they were now petting you, and they're like it's okay, and everyone was just like giving you time to cool off. So talk about that and then tell me the solution. I don't want to give it away. Tell me the solution you guys had. I think that was another gem you guys did in your wedding that made it work.
Yeah. So from your perspective,
your POV.
What
so
happened?
My POV. So what was interesting, I think it was like right after the ceremony. I was obviously just
vibing.
Done. I loved it. All the guests were making jokes, everything was fine. And I was like walking there and I just noticed she was like quiet, like barely smiling. So as you can say, she's happy, she's happy. Once things, just kind of upset her, her face can't hide it. So I know we were walking, I think after the aisle, we're now walking up to her to take the photos. She's like, what the hell happened? I was like, what? I was like, you just got married? She's like, what was going on? She was like walking with Steve. And I was like, what's wrong? She's like, the pictures. And I was like, we're going to take them now. So in my mind, I didn't think about the sunset pictures. Me, I was just like, whatever happens, happens. And I think at that moment, it was just like, I couldn't even calm it out. This is one of the moments where I was like, okay, I need to shut up. It took me 10 minutes to figure that out. But I think then I just realized, okay, let's just do what we can now. So we started talking to the photographers, and they were amazing as well. So they tried to take some photos. And I think it was a good scenery. It was dark.
It was dark, yeah.
I'm taking this back to our our photographers'
pre-wedding shoot.
Pre-wedding shoot.
Yeah.
Same thing happened. We got caught up in Lagos traffic, and we missed the sunlight. And then we went to go take the pre-wedding shoot in her place, and we did it in the backyard,
in the dark,
and it turned out so well. And I was like, we just kind of adapt and go with it. So we had that happen, and the photos I think they took were nice. But then we had to go and talk to them and like, what can we do next? And I think they came up with the idea of dressing up the next day.
Yeah.
I didn't find out till the next day we were actually going to do it because of me and mine. I was like, let's just get through this and tell her anything. But like we actually ended up doing it. So I had to like put my tux on and everything. And it just worked out. I think sometimes you have to be adaptable. Not everything's going to be perfect.
It worked out really well because I remember I saw the video and I was confused. I was like thinking to myself that I thought everyone was upset about sunset pictures. And then I saw you guys going onto the beach. And obviously you could actually get your dress wet, your suit, and it was just a beautiful scene. They were like, when did you enter the beach? Like, you're not wet when you came to the reception.
I'll tell you from my point of view. So, what had happened was I knew we had this like really tiny window to take pictures after the wedding, right? It's like a slither at a time. And I said to everyone, I was like, please, whatever we do, let's just try and be on time so we could just maximize this window before the sun sets. And I don't know what happened, but there was some delay somewhere. Ceremony started extremely late.
I want to bring this up as well.
Okay.
Wait, hold on. The other thing, as she was walking up the aisle to come and see me, she was angry at me because she thought I was the one that delayed. But I had been ready since. And I'm a stickler for time as well.
What happened.
Oh, so
we have
you
no
were not
idea.
late.
I literally was
She wasn't
sitting there.
late.
My dad
I
and I were
wasn't
sitting
late.
there like.
Yeah.
I thought you were late. That's
Can
why.
you imagine? So everyone thought it was the bride.
I thought it was you.
I was sitting there like, what is going on? Literally for like half an hour.
So no one knows today why we were
No one
late.
knows what happened.
Obviously,
Because-
people know, but they're not telling us.
Okay,
And they're like,
okay.
it's-
I think it was just one of the things that was just like miscommunication.
Yeah,
Maybe, yeah.
Because it had ripple effects on the
Yeah,
reception.
exactly.
We couldn't do all the games we planned
That
to
was
do.
part of why it was paining me because I
Yeah.
was like, this pushes the timeline for everything.
Everything.
Yeah.
So the ceremony finished, and because I was so caught up in the ceremony, I didn't realize time had gone. And I walked down. I saw the videographer. I said, "What time is it?" He said, "It's 6:30." I
This
was
was at
like,
5.
huh?
This was at 5, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was like, "Huh? It's 6:30." He was like, "Yeah, the sun is setting in 15 minutes." So
And
we
you're just
had to
walking up. You're just walking down the aisle there.
Exactly. No, this is after
Walking
the ceremony.
after the
Okay,
ceremony.
after the ceremony,
So he was
exactly.
like, we have to make use with 50
Yeah.
minutes. We have to take pictures. So that was why I was steaming. Like we're walking up to take the pictures, and I was just like, oh my god!
I was like, Erin smiles, photos, wedding photos. She did
Everything
not
has been
enter.
pushed back now. But
Yeah.
after I like took a deep breath and like somebody calmed me down, it was actually my dad who came up with the idea to shoot the next day.
All right. Okay.
My
Okay.
dad was like, this thing happens in production all the time. Like, just have fun, take what you can,
Yeah.
and tomorrow dress up again. And I was, at that point, I was like, I cannot wear
Do this
another
again, yeah.
corset
Yeah.
again. I'm sick of this. But the next day, it made sense. So we actually did the photo shoot again the next day.
Yeah.
And in hindsight, I was like, actually, maybe this was just God, because we then had time and freedom, and the
Yeah.
photographers and videographers were in their creative bag because they just had space and time. And it was eventually one of their ideas for us to do our final bit of
beach.
photo shoot in the beach and in the water.
Yeah, in the water.
So
So
we
it was
both
beautiful.
ran into
So
the
much.
water
Yeah, it was
in our
beautiful.
full. It was like really,
It was
really
beautiful. I was like,
beautiful.
God, I want to
Yeah.
marry again.
It was a lot of fun because I was
Yeah.
kind of going to hesitant. I was like, these people made me dress up
Yeah.
again. And I wanted to enjoy the day with
Yeah.
family and friends who were leaving.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah,
think even
that
they
was
saw us
just a bit
taking
painful.
photos and
Yeah.
they had fun. They still spoke to people.
Yeah.
But then when we got to the beach, that's when I was just like, I love water. So I was like, let's
Let's
enter.
jump in.
So it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it actually.
One question for you, actually, if I
wow.
was interviewing you. No, I'm curious how it was from your perspective, because that time delay pushed back our reception
Yes.
so
Yes.
much.
Yes.
And we were taking photos in the reception
Yeah,
area
yeah,
for like
yeah.
half an hour.
It was longer than that.
to
Like an hour. It was like an hour. Yeah, it was long.
Longer than we should have. So
Yeah.
I saw that it was like really getting a bit like frazzling because we had an agenda that
Yes,
you were.
we had a
meant to-
solid
Yeah.
agenda.
So how did you manage to like
So
still pull it off?
I had
with
to
that
I had to
time
cut out a lot of things, and it really pained me because we went in on that agenda
agenda, that was
because
painful.
remember we had eight couples that had done their weddings before, and we were very keen on making it different,
Yeah.
and we did all the things we can do. So one of the games I wanted to play was the shoe game, but with your parents.
Yeah.
I thought that would have been
I was
so
really
funny
looking forward
to
to
see your
that
parents think what they
game.
think about both of you. So, and then your parents they seem very, very cool and very, very banterous as well. I thought that would have been amazing. We're going to play the couple game where people start squatting as well. We didn't get to do that. So,
I remember you had picked her. Who
was gonna, yeah. That was a request from the guests as well. Some guests already created space in their trouser so they can spot their wives. I started practicing. So it's my wife that was doing that. I had that space.
I didn't want to call him out, but I said, somebody make sure you pick me.
Exactly. So we didn't get to play that. And then also, I remember we also wanted them to enjoy the R&B set during dinner.
Yeah.
So I had to create that as well. So it really pained me because we worked hard on getting all these things done. But these things happen.
Yeah,
We
but
just want
it
to.
still was so good.
It was so good. It was so good. We just had to
good.
make, and people
The
don't
agenda still
know.
worked,
People don't
yeah.
know except that you tell them.
Yeah, exactly.
That
Yeah,
these things happen. So it was all part of being a professional experience.
Yeah, I think
International
it's
MC.
It's
That's
the
what's up.
experience. Shout out effective. Because anyone else would have been like,
Yeah. No, it's just and again, the thing about vendors. It's not your day, and don't be I hate vendors that are divas.
Yeah.
You are the service of the bride and the groom. So whatever you guys want, I will make it happen. And even though pictures were there, people were coming in. Some aunties were getting on my nerves because I told them to move.
Really?
I told them to move that there in your shot. They're like, you can't just tell us where we're moving to. I was going to say, auntie, move to the side. But I just said, sorry, ma, because I've learned not to talk back to my elders.
that's true.
So have to just work with it and all that sort of stuff. So I guess the summary here is that there's always a plan B and try and enjoy the moment because you were upset. Luckily, Somi calmed you down, your parents calmed you down, and then you got back into the groove of things. Again, we don't have a lot of time. I'm talking about planner, the importance of your planner. Because she had a fantastic team and a very robust team as well. We're going to do this very quickly. Just tell them how much influenced your wedding as a whole?
Yeah. So I always say that Auntie Shay, our planner's magic, is she's just completely unflappable. Like she's never phased in the moment.
Absolutely. I've worked with her many times, yeah.
I saw her at one of my best friend's weddings in Barcelona.
Yes.
A couple of years before. And this wedding was humongous.
It was huge.
There was
152 people.
No, it was more than that.
I thought it was 152.
I think it was like on the 500 plus range.
It was a crazy wedding.
It
was a crazy wedding.
It was huge, right? And I remember thinking, this must be so chaotic behind the scenes. And she looked like water.
She's not.
So
what she does, she
calm.
put her glasses here.
Yeah.
And she just keeps on going. Like nothing is happening.
And I think that's the key for events that are that, I don't know what the word is, but where they're that complex.
Complex.
You need someone who's just like, nothing is going to phase them. So she has that demeanor naturally, which meant that whatever happened, she was just able to just absorb it and find solutions without getting het up. She's never like that. Secondly, she brought in a really large team.
Yeah, she did.
She had a bunch of people there. And I think I was thinking about it because at first I was like, do we need a team that big? That's a really big team. But I then thought about it. I was like, with that many people dedicated to the same event, there's a limit to how much can go wrong because you have all those people focusing on making the event happen. So having the right team, the right amount of people and the temperament of your planner, I think is really key.
Yeah. Because I remember, because we took the train from Nairobi to Mombasa. So they were trying to organize my logistics. And then I think the flight from Lagos to Nairobi was delayed. And then that had a ripple effect on Nairobi to Mombasa. So the plane landed like 2:30 in the morning. So they were just trying to get a coach.
On the bus, right?
Yeah, to get a bus to get everybody out. And then they were all up around 3 a.m. texting us, "Are you guys okay? Are you?" So it makes a massive difference.
I need to also mention,
yeah.
So we had our planner who was looking after the events itself, Auntie Shay, but then we also, because of the logistics of flying that many people to Kenya, we had someone else looking after the logistics entirely end to end. So Auntie Shade, also a family friend, she was just fantastic. She just used spreadsheets to organize the heck out of everything. So she had everyone's 250 people, their flight details, their itinerary, their rooms, matching them to rooms, dealing with people's flight delays, dealing with people's check-ins. It was such an operation.
And also, you guys got discounts for your guests from Kenya Airways. And I think that's another thing about negotiating these things, because everyone had a preferred rate because you had a bulk booking. So another tip for couples to go through. So definitely planners they can make and break your weddings, and you have to get the right one to do the right thing.
Obviously, there's some bias there. She's my dad's younger sister.
Yeah, exactly.
But I've been seeing her in action, she did my two sisters' weddings as well. So I've just always seen her in the action. She's always just been so calm, level-headed.
Extraordinarily
and it's more about the attention to some of the details. You wouldn't see it, and nobody else would see it, but she would just make sure it happens. Basically. Yeah, she was fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely. No, fantastic. And then my last and final question is just one tip from both of you for couples out there that are going to plan their destination wedding. Just one tip. What would you advise them to do? It could be more than one if you have more than one. And then we're going to wrap it up after that. So, Sam, you want to go first?
Yeah, I think for me, probably so I was the spreadsheet guy. So at least I tried to organize with Auntie Sade and Auntie Shay. I think for us was the budgeting. I think just make sure whatever you budget for, just put a certain percentage on top of that, because you never know what's going to happen. There were certain details where people were not paid on time, and you have to find ways to sort it out and everything. But as soon as you do that earlier on in the process, I think that's the key thing. And just make sure you have a good budget so that we have something left over. And if anything does go wrong, you just always sort it out, I would say. That's my thing.
I'll just add to that as well. I think it's one of my takeaways was I think everyone needs to acknowledge that weddings are actually a monumental expense. They are expensive. When you start the process, you want to try and talk yourself out of overspending. You want to be I'm not going to spend that much. You are. And you're going to spend more.
We had 3 different versions of the drinks, for example. So me, I was this has to be the drinks budget. And you go cut down. And I was just
so they end up
spending more than we had initially budgeted.
You're going to spend that money. So just get comfortable with the fact that it's expensive and go from there. I think if I had acknowledged that earlier, I might have had less tension around how much we were spending. But I think my tip would be, at some point in the process, and I think it should probably be like a week or two before, you have to decide to just switch your brain off as a bride and as a groom, and just be like, whatever happens now is what happens. I'm just committed to having fun, because there's no point in spending a year plus planning a wedding, being stressed, losing weight, and then you get there and you're still doing that during the wedding, and it comes and goes so quickly.
It's just one day.
In life.
There's so many, there's so many memories.
So
like you just want to make sure you're in the present for it as well. Because we still think about it. There's like maybe a few moments where I got upset about something and then you got upset about certain things. But I'd rather just make sure, whatever happens.
Yeah.
My family, my friends, my wife is here. So
because
you have
always
to
turn out well.
You have to be, I think it was one of my good friends that said it as well, you have to be committed to your fun. Like
yes.
You have to
and intentional.
Yes.
Exactly. That's
whatever happens, anything could go bust, whatever, I'm going to have fun. And I think that kind of attitude is like the way to like get the most value out of everything.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Because in my wedding, I had the same approach as well. I said, anything up, I don't care. And then the planner came to me, our cake had fallen down. Our wedding cake had fallen down. And then I just told her, don't tell my wife. And then when it was time to cut the cake, she was like, that's not the cake I ordered. I just said, smile and cut. Smile and cut. Then when we now on our way back, I now told her that was not the cake and everything, because it's just enjoy
no one
your
else
day.
Is gonna know about
it. To be honest, I was even happy when the cake fell, because I thought I was gonna get a refund back. but I didn't get a refund in the end. But that's a different story for a different time. But no, absolutely fantastic. No, thank you guys. I know you guys had a fantastic wedding, and it was complex, but it was a success. And I hope our viewers can actually learn a few things from you guys. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us. This is fun.
Yes, awesome.
Really enjoyed it.
Thank you, guys. This is Twirls and Tuxedos. We'll be back for more. Mr. Effective.
Hey.